biology. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Oh my goodness gracious gosh. Is this going down for real? Yo, oh my goodness. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. When I tell you this has been a long time coming, we have been out of commission for the live streams for a minute, but we had to come on back, y'all. We had to come on back. In this episode, I got a glove on, which you will find out more about later why I have a glove on, right? So I do have a glove on, which is quite weird, and it's a really cool glove though. It's like really exclusive. If you've used one of these before, you know what it's for. We'll get to that a little later on. But before we start, I just wanted to let you know that I'm super grateful for everybody who has been a part of the community, whether you're in the Discord, whether you're on TikTok, whether you're on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Always a big shout out to the entire Believe in Fantasy Basketball community. Today, we are going to be going over the top 25 fantasy basketball players, specifically by request for category league. So we do a lot of points league content here, but we are going to be sharing some category league content. So I wanted to see if I see a few people pulling up. Please let me know in the comments, guys, if you can hear me okay. Please let me know. And also, if you guys have questions for fantasy basketball, please drop them in the comments section. I'm not sure, again, this is new software we're testing out here. I'm not sure how we'll pull that joint up onto the screen yet. I did not do my homework on that because I know how this stuff works. I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out. If not, I'll definitely let you guys, I will read out your comments out loud if I can't get them on the screen. But please, if you guys could type something in the comments just so I could see that that joint is working. Check out the glove. Oh, baby. We about to really, really cook. So, first things first, we're going to go to the number one player in fantasy Oh, Kevin Myers, my man. Oh, I appreciate you, Kevin. Let me see if I can get that joint to pull up on the screen. How do you do that? Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you, man. I want to see if I can get this joint on the screen. It might not be a thing. Nope. Oh, we got Mike Poole. Mike Poole says, can hear you good, my man. Thanks for all your hard work. Mike, Kevin, I appreciate you guys, man. Let me know if you guys can see those comments on the screen or not. Let me know if you can see them on the screen because they don't appear to be showing for me here. Let me know. Yo, kicking in the door 36 says, I'm tapping in from Indy. Shout out Barney's Beige Ballers, led by Hall and Scotty Barnes. Let's get it. Yeah, let me know if you guys can see the actual comments. If you can't, we'll figure that out for the next video. So let me jump in. So first player that we're going to take a look at for the top 25 for category leagues. A lot of people will get this wrong if they guessed. If you know who the number one player is in fantasy basketball, Kevin, Mike, kicking in the door, everybody who's pulling up, man, yo, my man say he's 6-0. Tell me, yo, please do me a big favor. Okay, Kevin says you can't see the comments. I'll do that for the next video. But yo, do me a big favor, kicking in the door. Make sure when you win your championship, you share your banner in the Discord group. Very important. 13, Timothy says, who should I try to trade Bojan Bogdanovic for? Detroit for 9-cat. Would Jalen Williams be a good option? I think he would be an excellent option. I would definitely make that move. So let's start with number one. Number one player in fantasy basketball for category leagues so far is your man, SGA. SGA is the number one player in category leagues right now, 9-cat specifically, right? Your man is averaging, check this out, 31.1 points per game. He is averaging 31.1 points per game. And also, to add to that, he's also averaging 5.6 rebounds. And he's also averaging, geez Louise, 6.3 assists, right? So your man is really going there, right? It's clear that SGA is, he took a leap last season, right? But this year, it's almost like he's coming to say, hey, guys, I know big men have been the top 2 or 3 in fantasy for a couple of years. Those days are over. Close the door, shut the curtains. It is a wrap for all of that. So the number 1 player in category leagues is SGA. Kicking the door says salute. I feel you. And let me know what you guys think about the writing on the screen business. Just trying to test something new out to make sure we keep things fun, exciting for you. So number 2 for category leagues. Number 2, according to hashtag basketball. Number 2 is one of my favorite players, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. Let me see if that's all over my face. Yep. Hey, yo. So Joel Embiid is the number 2 fantasy basketball player right now. Your man Joel is averaging, check this out, 33.1 points per game. He's averaging 33.1 points per game. Also, in terms of rebounds, he's averaging 11.4. And then for assists, he's averaging 6.6 assists per game. So Joel is also like holding it down. That's no surprise though, right? So over the last couple years, top guys in category leagues, it looked very similar. It was Jokic, it was Embiid. You know, you had guys who were floating around in that area. It was a big man game, right? But things have definitely shifted over the last couple of seasons, specifically with the ascension of SGA, who we talked about in the first place, in the number 1 spot. And now for number 3, man, one of my favorite players, yo. And honestly, I have a heartbreaking story about him I'll share after I give you his ranking. But at number 3 for category leagues is your man, Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton. Man, oh man. You know what? I'm feeling Tyrese so much these days. I'm feeling Tyrese Halliburton so much these days. I gotta rewrite that joint. I gotta do that man justice. I gotta make sure this joint is mad neat and organized. I'm not gonna sell him short like that. Mad neat. Full name, T-Y-R-E, E-S-E. Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton. Jeez Louise, man, listen. When I tell you, I was watching that in-season tournament game they just had. Oh, my goodness, yo. Like, he is a dog. And, like, he is rising to the occasion in the moment. So, just as a basketball fan, I love it. But for fantasy, he is definitely that kind of player that you would just kind of let off some air horns for. Let me know in the chat if you guys heard that okay. Again, we're just trying to test everything out. Let me know if you guys hear that air horn. Let me know if you guys hear that air horn. So, after Tyrese Halliburton at number 4, surprisingly for a lot of people, number 4 is somebody that is typically in the top 3, but 4 is still pretty good, right? The Joker. The Joker is number 4 in category leagues. The Joker is averaging 28.6 points per game, 12.9 rebounds, and check this out, 9.8 assists. He is a center, y'all. What he is doing, we haven't seen anything like it. It's absolutely insane and wild. Don't forget, guys, if you have questions, drop the questions in the chat. After I go through these top 25, I'll answer the questions. Also, I might jump in and out and actually answer some of the questions for you while we're going through the top 25. So right now, let's push through this. We're at number 4 right now. We're going to go to number 5. Number 5 is somebody that I'm not really high on so much just because I've had so many issues with him in the past with health concerns. Just not my guy, right? Something that came to mind to me recently on another show is that if you play in the lock-in mode format for Sleeper, injured players are fine because all you need is one game from them. So that's totally fine. But this guy, number 5, Anthony the Brow Davis. Anthony Davis is number 5 in category leagues right now, according to hashtag basketball. So he's putting up numbers, yo, like serious numbers. In terms of his production, let's go into detail with it. For Anthony Davis, this season, he's averaging 23 points a game. He's averaging, this is crazy, 12.6 rebounds. So 23 points a game, 12.6 rebounds. He's also averaging 3.2 assists. But check this out. This one is wild, yo. I gotta go there on this one. For blocks, is this right? Is this right? Come on, man. Like, where they do that at? Your man is averaging 2.8 blocks per game. Wow. That is absolutely wild, yo. That is absolutely insane. That is insane. Is this right? Am I looking at the right line here? Is that Brooke Lopez's line? Your man, Anthony Davis, is averaging 2.8 blocks per game. No wonder he's the number 5 player in category leagues. This is crazy. This is crazy. Kevin, I see a question. Please keep those questions coming as soon as we get through these top 25. Actually, let me know in the comments. Do you want me to do a halftime? At about 12, I'll stop and I'll answer some questions. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. So let's move right along. And also, let me know if you guys hear those sound effects. That's one thing. Kevin, can you let me know in the chat if you guys hear those sound effects? That would be really helpful to know. Okay, so number 6 category league player. And this is somebody we were high on. I'll do it at halftime. At halftime, I'll answer some questions. This guy is somebody I was high on. Like Method Man high. Like Cheech and Chong high. Right? Snoop Dogg high. I was so high on this guy. People were like, yo, Robin, what are you doing? Thanks, Kev, for letting me know that you hear the air horn and the chimes and everything. Oh, like, what are you doing, Robin? Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he sucks. He's too old. He can't do it anymore. And I was like, I'm telling you, where he's going is going to be great value. But I didn't expect him to be this good. Ooh, that was interesting. Number 6 in category leagues, my man. Ooh, baby. KD. That's a crazy looking D. Let me fix that. Hey, yo. Let me fix that D. Hey, yo. KD. D. KD is number 6 in categories. Let's talk numbers for KD. KD is averaging 31 points per game. Averaging 31 points per game. Also averaging 6.5 rebounds, 5.7 assists. And this is good too. Check this out. 1.2 blocks. So KD is putting up numbers like it's nobody's business. Like he is really, really doing his thing. And for me, again, this is somebody that I was super high on. And when you are doing this kind of content, especially when it comes to like projections, rankings, you have to, forecast you have hits and you have misses. And one thing about me, if you guys have been watching this content, supporting this content, you know that I'm super accountable. I'll be like, hey, I bombed on that. I bombed on Walker Kessler. Big time. Epic fail, right? I failed you there. But if you listen to me on that KD, you got to win. It was a couple others that we got some wins on, but we'll go over that in another video. Not here to talk wins and losses. We're here to talk the top 25 category league players. So at the 12th person on this list, we're going to stop, do a halftime, and I'm going to answer some questions. Then at the end of the stream, we'll also answer some more questions. So after Kevin Durant and number 6, the number 7 player in category leagues, the Don, Luka Magic. And Luka is one of my favorite players, especially for points leagues, man. For points leagues, Luka is that guy. For dynasty leagues, that guy. I would say for category leagues, still very valuable. Not quite the same level of value that you get in a points league, but still one of my favorite basketball players, one of my favorite fantasy assets. So Luka is killing it this year. He's averaging 31.8 points per game. He's averaging, man, he's just like always about to do a triple-double. 8.5 rebounds a game, 8.6 assists a game, 1.3 steals. Yo, Luka is truly magical. I love that. I love that. Next up, we got number 8 on the list. And this is somebody who has been, I've always been high on, but I didn't expect him to make this leap into the top 10 this year. I didn't. And I was talking to my brother, Zach Hanshoe, from the NBC Sports team. Big shout out to my entire NBC Sports Roto World basketball team. Big shout out my man Noah Rubin. Big shout out my man Zach Hanshoe. Big shout out my brother Raphael Johnson. So, this guy, number 8, I did not see this coming. I didn't see him coming. Like, my eyeballs, those eyeballs, those could be something else. Let me be nice. Okay. So this guy, I did not see him jumping into the first round. I knew there was value there where you could draft him, but I never expected this. So number 8 is my man, one of my favorite basketball players, Devin Booker. Fix that K, right? So Devin Booker. Oh, did I lose my R there? It looks like I lost my R. Let me bring that back in. Number 8, Devin Booker. So Devin Booker has been absolutely cooking. And like I was saying, me and Zach were talking about this on my show recently about having 2 players on your team, having 2 teammates from an NBA team in the top 10 for fantasy. And have we seen that before? And the conversation started because of SGA, who was number 1. And then at the time, Chet Holmgren was in the top 10. But we also have to think about KD and Devin Booker. Like, that's crazy. If you think about it, they got 2 of the top 10 guys in fantasy. Anthony Davis and LeBron could be there too if LeBron gets into the top 10 again. I think he was in the top 10 at one point. But overall, Devin Booker having a phenomenal season. He's averaging 27.3 points per game, 6.3 rebounds, and oh my goodness, don't look now. He is averaging 4 assists. Is that real? Yo, your man is averaging 8.2 assists per game. Let me make that point a little stronger before people think I was out here saying, oh, Devin Booker had 82 assists a game, which somebody on the internet might say, because that's how people are, right? They'll be like, yo, Robin said Devin Booker was averaging 82 a game. Roast him. Put him on a fantasy basketball cross. Y'all be wilding out there. Not my fam, though. My fam is real. So 8.2 assists a game for Devin Booker. So Devin Booker in the top 10. Wow. We're going to start picking it up because we want to answer some questions. We are already 19 minutes in. I'd like to finish this in an hour, but if folks is pulling up, we'll stay a little longer. Number 9 for category leagues, Curry. Number 10, Oh my God. Mitchell. Donovan, that is. And I watched his game last night, man. I watched Donovan Mitchell against Orlando last night. Oh, baby. Yo, he is for real. I think he came out like just shooting threes in the first quarter, just like, let me check and see if I'm still hot. I think he did like 35. Like, yo, Donovan Mitchell is a dog. And then number 11, this is where it gets exciting for me. This is another player that we were really high on. A lot of people were talking about Wemby, right? All of the Wemby talk was happening. And in the background, all you heard was little old Robin Marks from the Believe in Fantasy Basketball podcast saying, yeah, I better watch out for Chet. Number 11, Chet Holmgren. Man, oh man, oh man. Your man is on fire. Let's go through Chet's stats. Chet is averaging 16.9 points per game, right? He is averaging 7.9 rebounds a game, right? 2.6 assists, which is not too crazy. 1 steal a game. And then this is my favorite. 2.4. Can you guys see that? Let me clean that up. 2.4 blocks a game. 2.4 blocks per game. Chet Holmgren is the truth. If you play in dynasty formats, if he has any kind of a slump, try to buy low. Do what you got to do. If you need to overpay a little bit for him now, it might feel like an overpay, but I'm telling you, when he's a staple of the first round in the next few years, you'll be like, I did a good job. Okay? Especially if you have aging stars, if you're in dynasty and you have aging stars, those are the kind of people I would look to move for Chet. Like, I would trade you in dynasty. I would give you KD and some change for Chet. I would give you Steph Curry and some change for Chet. You know, I wouldn't give you Embiid. I wouldn't give you Joker, even though they're approaching that 30 mark. I think the Joker is 20. I think he's like 29. I want to say he's 29 years old. But anyway, aging stars, try to get rid of them for Chet if you can. And this will be we're going to do number 12, and then we're going to go to halftime and answer some questions. So number 12 is, number 12, my man, Dame Dollar. Dame Dollar is number 12. On the season, Dame is averaging 25.6 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, 6.9 assists. And this is a good one. 1.1 steals. 1.1 steals per game. So Dame is definitely someone I would be looking at if I was trying to, grow, my production in terms of, score points. Definitely. Also, even with the assists, he's doing okay with the assists. But Damian Lillard is that guy. I think a large part is because of his scoring. Okay, so let's go to some questions. Again, they are not popping up on the screen, which is okay. This is the first time we're using this software, and let's jump on in. So we'll scroll up to the top. Kevin Myers, what up? Mike Poole, what up? Kicking the door. 36, what up? And then 13, Timothy. I answered that one already. Here we go. So this is from T. T says, who has been the most surprising player in the fantasy season so far? Oh, I can't add it to the broadcast. Look at that. Look at the shoulders. Okay. So T says, who has been the most surprising player in fantasy so far? I got a couple of them. So the first one, I would say that really has been a surprise for me. We talked about him a little already, is Chet Holmgren. So for Chet, I did think Chet was going to have a good season. I did not expect him to be in the top 10. I definitely didn't expect Wemby to be in the top 10. Or, honestly, I just knew that Chet was going to be better than Wemby. That was what I was on the record saying. Go back and check out our videos, right? If you need the receipts, right? But I didn't expect this. I didn't expect me at the time of doing this episode, him being number 11 in category leagues and then being in the top 10 for category leagues. I just never expected it. So that would be my number one. Number two, I think would be Maxey. So even though we expected if Maxey got the keys to the car, so to speak, once Harden moved, they gave him the keys to the car as the point guard to like lead the team and run the team. He has an MVP caliber guy on his team. So at no point did I expect him to be as good as he has been so far. He is a little streaky. It's a little roller coastery, right? So he's a little roller coaster-esque, if you will. So for that, I'm not so crazy about. But I do think it's a surprise. And then the last one I'll share with you, T, is, man, this guy is amazing. Alperen Sengun. Like, I am blown away. Like, I didn't see it coming. I knew he was good. He's somebody that I had a little higher than where his ADP was, but I didn't jump off the roof or jump out the window on this one. Figuratively speaking, YouTube, just a figure of speech. I wasn't taking the risk like to put him 10 spots higher, 5 or 10 spots higher than his ADP. Like, I knew he was good, but I never thought that we were going to see the baby Joker. And this is one thing that's worth noting. That young core in Houston, you got, Jabari Smith, you got all of these young guys, right, that are coming together. Amin Thompson. Sengun is the guy, though. He's going to be our Olajuwon. He is the baby Joker. So for me, T, those are my three my biggest surprises for the fantasy season. So let's keep it moving. Remove that from broadcast. Very cool. Okay. This is from Kevin Myers. Kevin Myers says, 8-team ESPN points league. Someone dropped Tobias Harris. Think it's worth picking him up with his poor performance lately? This is a good one, Kevin. So I was just listening to, I want to say it was Josh Lloyd's podcast, and he talked about Tobias Harris, and that Tobias Harris right now is stinking up the joint. But the reason that we look at him the way we look at him, Kevin, is because he lacks one thing. Name value. He doesn't have any, significant name value. When people say Tobias Harris, we're like, And I thought that was interesting that Josh brought that up. So for me to answer your question simply, absolutely. I would grab him. I'd be curious to know which players you were interested in dropping for him, but I definitely think this is the time to pick him up and just give him a couple weeks. He's in a slump, so give him time to break out of the slump and see if once he recovers from that slump, if he's somebody that works for your roster. Cool. Oh, so I can adjust the size of these joints? Okay, look at this. Look at this, Kev. I can make that joint bigger. Hey, you. All right, so let's move. Let's bring that down a little bit, actually. Boom. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so let's move right along. Next question. Let's see what we got here. Cool. This is from Mike Poole. Mike Poole says, Beasley for Aldama, 12-team 9-cat. So, Aldama, first of all, I'll say this. I have no confidence in anything that they're doing in Memphis until Ja Morant gets back. The reason being is because they're everywhere. They're trying all kinds of lineups. One day this guy plays a bunch of minutes. One day he doesn't. The only constant factors in their rotation, 3 players. Triple J, right? Bane. Yeah, actually, I just think there's two players. Is it a third guy? Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's just these two. So it's Triple J, Bane. Like, really, nothing else is moving. Like, Tillman came back from injury. They're not even giving him many minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know what the heck is happening. So Marcus Smart is about to come back. Ja Morant is about to come back. And when they come back, I think what's going to happen to the roster is that the roster is going to get stabilized. And once the roster stabilizes, then we'll have a true indication on what to expect in terms of fantasy beyond the top 2 or 3 people on their team. Beyond Triple J, Bane, and Ja Morant, what does it look like for the other players? So in that case, Beasley right now, especially this week with the in-season tournament and everything, if you can get the deal approved and push it through before the next game, then that's what I'm doing. I'm making that move because Malik Beasley is cooking right now. So I would definitely make that deal. Clean this up real quick. So let me know in the comments too, what do you guys think about the writing on screen business? Let me know. I'm really curious to see. You're the first viewers that are experiencing this. We'll let it live on the replay to see what people think. If you're watching it on the replay or if you're watching it live, let me know in the comments. What do you guys think about this drawing on the screen whiteboard business that I'm experimenting with? It's wild. I know. I'm just out here throwing spaghetti at the wall with content creation. Just trying all kinds of Shih Tzu puppies. Okay. Next question. Actually, I think Timothy asked this question already. Timothy, I think you asked this question already, but I'll look at it again with you. Who should I try to trade Bojan from Detroit for a 9-cat head-to-head? It really depends on the needs of your team and the build, but he's only been back for a couple of days, right? So at this point, if you were looking to move him this early, really you're going to try to buy low on someone. So I would take a look at some players who are maybe stinking up the joint or they might be injured. Maybe you can package him in a deal with another player and try to bring Ja Morant back, who's going to be back in, I think, 5 games. So the window to buy low on Ja Morant is closing. I know Jalen Suggs just got injured. I don't know how critical his injury is. OG Anunoby is another player that hasn't been performing up to his expectations. Pascal Siakam is somebody who's bouncing back now, but his season-long performance has not been there. He's just barely snuck into the top 100 for category leagues. So those are just a few players that you could take a look at. Next up, we got Mike Poole say, yes, sir. I want to know what you said yes, sir, to, my guy. You got to specify, man. I don't even know what's happening there. Cool. No sweat with the S's. Hey, ma. I hope you said, hey, man. I don't hey, ma. It was like turned into a Cameron song with Jules Santana. Hey, ma. What's up? That's right. All right. And we gonna be all right. Like, I love my community, my fantasy basketball fanatics. Man, don't be calling me ma. Man, you better get your spell check right. I'm messing with you. I just traded Aaron Gordon for Jabari Smith Jr. Is it okay? 10-team points league? I think that's exactly what it is. In a 10-team, like, it's a talent-rich experience when you're playing in a 10-team. I always tell people, like, because, one thing about the channel, and we say this all the time, is that we're a welcoming space. Like, we welcome all, right? We welcome all. No matter what format you play in, whether you play in 9-cat, right? You could play in 8-cat, right? You can play in no cat. Like, I don't care. We're going to welcome you, right? So for points leagues, we welcome all points leagues, right? And you could even say, like, the channel is rooted in the points league experience. This is what I would say to 10-teamers. It's almost like playing the All-Star game in 2K. 8-teamers, 10-teamers, man, it's talent rich. So trading Aaron Gordon for Jabari Smith, man, don't even second guess it. It's fine, man. It's totally, totally fine. Next up, is there a way to move this? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Next up, Kevin said, considering dropping Cam Johnson, Trey Murphy, Obi Topping. Let me go back and see who the initial player was. Tobias Harris. Aha. This is good. This is good. This is good. Let me pull this one up. So Kevin is referring to his question about should he grab Tobias Harris. So Cam Johnson, I'm gonna give Cam Johnson time. I'm gonna give Cam Johnson grace. I'm not about to drop him for Tobias Harris, right? Trey Murphy III, another player. Although, you might get similar production from them, I just think Trey Murphy has more upside because of his age. He's a younger guy. He's coming back from injury. So you're not getting the true experience from him right now. But let's talk about Obi. Right? So Obi is a consistent waiver wire type guy in his NBA career. This year, it has not been the case. Obi is cooking with hot grease right now, right? With bacon grease. But when I have to dig to the data, and also look at your league type, but just from profiles, if I was going to pick a guy to drop, it would be Obi. However, I would not do that until after the in-season tournament. He's too valuable right now. So do not make this move until after this week is over because of the in-season tournament, Obi Toppin's value increases. That's a great, great question. We'll take one more, and then we're going to go right into the rest of the top 25. So No Sweat says, what about trying to trade Jalen Johnson for Bojan? I think I'll do that. And again, that's another buy low. So Jalen Johnson, if you guys didn't know, came out of the gates this season on fire. Like cooking, like deep frying turkeys out here, right? Like really doing his numbers. And then he went down with an injury. So now his value is at an all-time low because he's banged up. He's going to be out for a while. I think it was 6 to 8 weeks at the time of the injury. So that's a great one right there, especially No Sweat if you have an available IR spot. So that's another thing. So know that if you already have a banged up team, I wouldn't want to bring another injured player. I'd rather just hold Bojan at that point. However, if you got a league that has 3 or 4 IR spots, or you have a vacant IR spot right now, or you have somebody in the IR that's about to come back, that would be that's actually one of my favorite moves of the day. Very, very good stuff. Okay, so let's get back into this top 25. So we left off at Damian Lillard, number 13, somebody we just talked about, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey I'll clean that up for you guys. With the James Harden trade, his value went through the roof. And he was in the top 10 for a while. He's outside now at 13, but still an excellent fantasy option. Maxey on this season is averaging 26.9 points per game. He's averaging 4.4 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.6 blocks, about 1.5 turnovers. He's shooting 46% from the field. And he's shooting 90% from the free throw line. Super valuable, right? So Maxey is having himself a season, y'all. That's somebody that, again, was a big surprise for me. I did not see this coming. Next up at number 14, and we're going to just pick up the pace a little bit.
we have Trae Young. Number 15 for category leagues, we have Desmond Bane. And Desmond Bane might be a sell high opportunity. He just had, I believe, his career high last night with 49 points. He's averaging 25 on the year, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.8 steals, zero point 0.8 blocks. Like, he's going off. But when Ja Morant comes back, he's going to take a little hit. I think he could still be top 25, maybe even top 30. Yeah, but you might want to sell high on him. Number 16. Giannis. Number 17. LeBron James. So number 14, Trae. Number 15, Bane. Number 16, Giannis. Number 17, LeBron James. Number 18 for category leagues. Whoa, that's crazy. That's great. It's absolutely insane. Bojan Bogdanovic, get out of here, yo. He only played 2 games, but I get it. That's crazy. I'm not even writing his name down. Ugh. Number 18 is Bojan. Oh, this is another big surprise. For the person who asked what was a big surprise, T, I believe. Another big surprise is number 19. Number 19. Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is, that's one I got wrong. I didn't sleep on Scotty. Let me stop lying. I did sleep on Scotty Barnes a little bit. I might have did one video on TikTok. Maybe I called him a potential bust. Maybe. I have to go back and check the data on that one. But I definitely missed on that one. And for Scotty Barnes, man, he's averaging 19.2 points per game, 9.1 rebounds, 5.4 assists. But check this out. 1.7 steals. Man, this is good. And 1.3 blocks. He is a man-child. And I've covered a few of his games since I joined the NBC Sports team. And, yo, it's real. He passes the eye test. He had a bad game last night against Miami. I covered that game, but overall, he's having a phenomenal season. So definitely another big surprise for me with Scotty Barnes at 19 for category leagues. Number 20, somebody that's a surprise, but a surprise in the wrong way. I expected him to be a lot more productive. Number 20, Jason Tatum. Now, I'm getting all kinds of comments about what to do with Tatum, What you do with Tatum is be patient and wait it out. Because if you try to trade him right now, you are not going to get the return on your investment in terms of where you drafted him. So it's not a wise move to trade him right now. So I would stay away from that. Number 21, an injured player who I love, LaMelo Ball. LaMelo, before he went down with his injury, was averaging 24.7 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 8.2 assists, 1.4 steals. LaMelo was having a great season before going down. We hope to have him back sooner than later. At number 22, my man, Cat. Let me clean that up. Cat deserves better than that. My man, Cat. So Cat is another player we were really high on. And rightfully so. He has always been great for fantasy. Last season, he had his worst season ever. Now, with Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, all of them kind of, again, stabilizing, Cat is coming into his own. He's averaging 21.8 points per game, 9.1 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 0.9 steals, and 0.8 blocks. Number 23, a player that I'm not so crazy about, but I cannot deny how good he is. Number 23, from the Utah Jazz, Lauri Markkanen. Lauri, I always talk about the first time I saw him play for Summer League that year he came in. And I was like, who is this big dude? Like, he's really dribbling and shooting. Then he kind of went into his career, was okay with the Bulls, like kind of waiver wiry, went to Cleveland, waiver wiry, and then all of a sudden, he was not a waiver wire guy no more. He, out of the blue, probably became one of the biggest values in fantasy. And he continues to produce. I did not think he would be this good, but he is. Number 23 for category leagues, Lauri Markkanen. Next up, number 24. We're coming to the end of our top 25. Number 24. And again, we'll answer some more questions after we finish this, guys, if you have more questions. Number 24. Wemby. Now, this is a conversation that I had in the barbershop. I just got a cut, right? Went to the barbershop and I had this conversation with my barber. And it's also a conversation I've had with Zach, my brother Zach from NBC Sports, and with my son. I've had this conversation. I'll have it with you. I feel like this guy, 24, Wemby, is the catalyst to the changing of the guard in the NBA. Not just for fantasy, but definitely for fantasy, but as a whole, every aspect of the game. He's the catalyst of the changing of the guard. So, LeBron James, oldest player in the NBA, playing at an elite level. KD, I want to say KD's like 35, playing at an elite level. Steph Curry, all of these guys are in your top 10, right? All of them. These guys are like 35 years old. One is almost 40. We've never seen superstars last this long. Superstars decline. Think about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, he performed at an elite level, but his statistics dropped dramatically as he declined, right? I think his last season, he might have averaged 20 points a game, 19 points a game. Ended his career on a big 60-point night or whatever it is, but guys don't produce at this age. We're at a place now because these stars that we've had, we have some of them who are declining. Russell Westbrook, Harden is declining a little bit. But because our big three of Curry, KD, and LeBron are still producing, they've been holding on to this, holding on to the NBA for dear life over the last few years. And some stars like Luka have come along, Trey has come along, Ja Morant, but none of those guys could quite be the face of the NBA like this guy Wemby. Zion came along, right? Wemby will be the face of the NBA, but there's a little side note, maybe not a little side note, a 7-foot side note, that he'll have an adversary, a face-to-face adversary for years to come in Chet Holmgren. They will be the new Magic versus Bird. Jordan never had that. He never had someone that was like his adversary because he was so beyond everyone else, right? He did have a rivalry with the Pistons leading up to him finally breaking through after getting beat by them for so many years. But he never had someone that every year we were going to meet and face off and battle every year. He had a couple of years against the Jazz. He played against the Suns. He beat them, beat Trail. He never had somebody he was facing every year. LeBron and Curry, they had a rivalry. Every year we was going to see the Cavaliers versus the daggone Warriors. These two guys, it might not be a finals matchup, right? But they're going to have a rivalry over the next couple decades, man. So I'm excited. This is the changing of the guard. If you haven't heard this before, this is what it is. The changing of the guard. They're handing over the keys to these young players. This is Chet. This is Wemby. This is Luka included in that conversation. This is Ja Morant, SGA, Halliburton. This is the new era of the NBA. So that's number 24. We're going to end out with number 25. Number 25 to close us out for the top 25 players for category leagues is PG-13. PG-13 is going off. He's having a great season. He's averaging 23 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.6 steals. Really staying relatively healthy. He's played 20 games this season, which is a big deal. So looks good. Looks good for me. So we'll go back to the comments, see if we got any more questions. We got one more question. This one is from Sam Rivera. He says, how's Capella looking rest of season? So for Capella, I think that he is a decent person to roster. I do believe there's this like fear around him being moved somewhere else and what that would do for his value. The fact of the matter is he was moved before, right? When he was in Houston, he was with James Harden, he was like a double-double machine. He moved to Atlanta. He's been banged up. He's not the most healthy player, right? So rest of season, I think he can maintain his current value. Currently right now on #basketball for category leagues, he's number 83. He's averaging 10 points a game. Great. 10 rebounds a game, double-double. 1.1 assists, 0.7 steals, 1.7 blocks. That's great. So overall, I think, yes, he is a solid fantasy option, only averaging 24.7 minutes per game. So that's something to be mindful of. But if he can get you 10 and 10 in 24 minutes, I'll take it all day, every day, and tomorrow. Do me a favor. If you guys like this little thing that I'm doing right here, please, if you like this whole whiteboard business, do me a favor and comment and let me know that you like it, because it took me some time to figure this crap out. Like, I'm not that dude when it comes to all of the buttons and levers. I understand tech. I understand, how to do the computer thing, right? But this is some next level stuff for me. So again, I'm really curious to know, be honest, give me your feedback, wrong, right, and different, indifferent, whatever. Just give me how you feel about it. If you think it was distracting, if you think it was helpful, if you think it was innovative, interesting, or just plain old whack. All that I ask is that you're respectful with your comments, because here at Believe in Fantasy, we're all about respect and kindness. So I'm really excited about the rest of the season. If you guys have questions, drop them in the replay. I will answer every single comment. And do me a favor, make sure you join our Discord at BelieveInFantasy.com. Peace. Man, that was fun. I feel like I need some music or something. Do I have outro music? I can, let's put some music in here.